Welcome to Tanked Up, calling last orders on Antichamber. My name's Ben, I'm joined by Aadil.
Hello.
Hey dude. Every time we do one of these videos, and when we podcast, we like to drink. So we are drinking. I'm drinking an Anchor steam beer. What are you drinking, Aadil?
I'm drinking Picaroon's Plaid to the Bone, which is a heather ale from New Brunswick. It's a unique beer for a rather unique game. This is Antichamber, as you can see. It's a fairly straightforward, a simple-looking game. A lot of linear paths, pits, but obviously no fall damage. It's a first-person puzzler, which also sort of tells a story. You'll see to the right, we just saw a little poster which had an image.
Yeah.
You can click on those images, and then basically they tell you some sort of aphorism, which is actually a hint. So that some paths are clearer than others.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go up the blue path, around the corner, and it's the same, but there's a new poster.
Yeah.
So let's try the other path.
Yeah. Logically, you tried the red path.
Mm-hmm. Except now there's a new poster. Okay. And so
it's quite good in the way that it sort of tries to direct you a little bit, but sort of leaves it quite open for you.
Yeah. Here's me losing my fingers on the keyboard. So what I really like about it is basically the answer to all of the puzzles are challenging sort of the standard tropes and the way we assume first-person games work.
Yep.
So, I mean, we're in a linear hallway. We can only go in certain directions.
Definitely. You've got very little choice, really.
But wait.
Oh, I seem to remember you talking about this moment on the podcast, actually. Yeah,
so going backwards, actually, you're in a different place all of a sudden. There's a lot of these sort of laser gates. And then you see up ahead, it tells you to press the escape key. I don't want it. Oh.
That's quite nice.
Yeah. And you literally can't do anything.
Yeah.
Until you hit the escape key, which puts you back in the main screen. But now you'll see that on the what was a blank wall, all the rooms I've been, all the little pictures I've clicked on, show up in a chronological order, and they're actually by the end of the game, you basically filled this wall, and it tells a story.
Yeah.
And you can also, at any point, hit escape and then jump to any of the rooms.
Nice.
Now you'll see it's a pit, but it tells us to walk.
Yeah, this is slightly different again.
Yeah, but turns out there was a floor there the entire time. You just don't see it. But if I had jumped there, I would have gone right through.
Right. Okay.
And then,
blah.
That is going halfway through a dead end, because it turns out it's not a dead end. And then it tells you a dead end will only stop you if you don't go through it.
Yeah.
Takes you to this room. I don't know how to fly, apparently.
But it does reveal some extra scenes and extra rooms and things.
So now I found... So that's one of the paths out of the room. Later on, we'll go back to that first screen where you saw the map, which allowed me to teleport. Basically, every node off of that map it shows you how many different ways they're out by having little exit nodes.
Okay.
And if you've gone through that path, it'll actually path to a new node, which is a room.
So is it a set map that you're moving through?
Yeah, there are ways of getting between rooms. It's not procedurally generated. It is a game, like a standard set game, but it's just trying to figure out all the paths.
Yeah, and unlocking the story as such by picking up all of the different...
Exactly.
Oh, you're back at the beginning again!
But look, I've learned something. I shouldn't have jumped.
Yeah.
It's put a wall in front of you, though, which, again, more novice players might see the wall and be like, oh, I'll jump over it, which will just plummet you if you hit jump
Yeah.
while you're on this walkway.
That's nice.
So, again, the famous duck rabbit picture.
Yeah.
Um,
That's cool. I like it. It's all about perception and
Oh, yeah.
how you overcome your perception.
So, in this video, I tried to just do the simpler parts of some of the puzzles and ignore the other things.
Yeah.
This is probably my favorite room to see in this game, which I have had the privilege of walking into with the Oculus Rift, and it really messes with your head. Because
Nice.
there's 4 of these cubes, and each face has a different area inside of it.
Almost like a 3D image within the cube's face.
Yeah, like, if you look at the cube this way, it's entirely filled by Pong. But wait.
Yeah.
And it's clearly just, like, I feel like the author is just sort of, this is his playroom, like, these are some cool things I've made that inspired me to... I don't know what that is, it's really creepy. But inspired me, like, to play around with these sort of weird 3D ideas. And there is another puzzle in this room. There's a couple of them. Again, it's just pretty in the way it does these things while challenging you.
Yeah.
And then you sort of, oh yeah, they're all boxes. But wait, no, that's a room.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
Nice. I imagine you get a very different experience with the Oculus Rift when you're playing this.
Yeah, very much so. I unfortunately was acting up. I kind of wanted to record me playing with the Rift just because some of the head movements and stuff might kick in. Here I can't actually remember the answer to the puzzle, but you'll see that I've already done the circle.
Yeah.
But yeah, because with strafing and stuff, with a standard WASD and a mouse, you tend to move less organically. Then I've noticed that when I play with the Oculus Rift, I'm actually worse at things like strafing because I'm moving more like I normally do, and Aadil in the real world doesn't strafe.
No.
So
there's not many times when you strafe around a corner.
Yeah, exactly. But so here you can see one of the tricks. The trick is something to do with the fact that as soon as you cross the blue area, the green rooms disappear on you.
Right.
Again, one, I couldn't remember how to do this puzzle, but 2, I also didn't want to go too far into the game. So if I couldn't immediately remember it, it wasn't an obvious puzzle. Oh, no, I decided to go back.
I suppose that you get a lot of backtracking in something like this, where you can't quite figure out where to go, and you sort of almost go around in circles until, as it happened, you end up back in your starting position almost.
Exactly. But also, when you go back to the opening scene, the room, it shows you how many potential paths are there, so you're like, oh, in this area I missed another way out. Because some of the rooms have 3 different exits.
Yeah.
Possibly 4. And then it's just... You might think you've solved the room, but it turns out you've only done a fraction of it. So, yeah, that's me giving up. But that's okay, because I can just wander over.
Find a different path.
Yeah, and this is one of my favorite tricks that I figured out really quickly. If we go back, we will. What does that look like? The glyph on the wall.
Behind you? Ooh.
Yeah.
The eye?
Yeah, it's an eye. So when the eye sees you, when you see the eye, the door closes. So you back up through the door.
That's clever.
Yeah.
Then it gives you the hint after it as well.
Yeah, most of the time it tells you how you could have solved it, like why it works. So, like, the dead end one says a dead end is only... I love that. Yeah. We've just transported twice. Like being close
that's cool.
to a room. The dead end only stops you if you don't break through it, and you only get to know that hint once you've done it. So it's rather cheeky. A lot of the puzzles have to do with pathing. So, for example, in tunnels like this, it seems like you have to go certain ways, but maybe you don't. Again, this is where I was like, well, one kind of through a couple of the puzzles. I don't want to spoil too much of it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So I tried to get back, which
I mean it looks really nice, like just the way that the your eye is drawn and the different sort of shapes that they're able to create within the space to either push you in certain directions or just confuse you through what they're doing.
Those through rooms are probably my favorite thing. Walking close to a window, backing up, and being a different room.
Yeah.
Going to look at the other side of the window, coming back, now that window, the side you just came out of, has changed color and is now a portal to a different place. So as you can see, that's what we pathed through. If you go to the top right corner, there is another path out of that room. On the far left, there's those extra little small rectangles attached are the other paths.
Yeah.
So that's basically all I wanted to show, because I didn't want to really, I didn't want to spoil too much of it. But
yeah, man, it definitely, I mean, even like a small video like this and what we've seen definitely intrigues me. It definitely seems like a game I would like to jump into, just to explore, really.
Yeah, it's technically got an hour-and-a-half timer. But you can also beat the game without that. You can just not care about the timing. It's not a big deal. And so you've got your map and your story, and sort of each path is usually linked to a piece of the story, but the story appears non-linearly.
Yeah.
Until you're finished, you don't really know what's going on.
Nice. That's cool. That's very cool.
So, how's your beer?
It's good. The Anchor Steam beer is really nice. We've had a couple of Anchor beers on the podcast, and they've never really sort of hit the mark. But I think, as Alex has been saying, Anchor is known for its steam beers, and this is very good. It's quite a light ale, a little sort of lagery, not massively, not hugely hoppy, just a very simple but nice taste. How about yours?
Yeah, it's a nice light beer. I've never had a heather drink, but I suspect the heather is what's giving it this sort of this unique taste. I wouldn't have it all afternoon.
Yeah,
but it's a really lovely beer. It's definitely better than what I had last week, both or this week's podcast. So yeah, I definitely recommend giving Plaid to the Bone a try. It's probably never going to enter your favorite beers, but it's definitely worth a try.
Excellent. So we've been tanked up. You've been watching Antichamber, which Aadil has played, and which I'm definitely going to jump into, and I would very much recommend that you guys do too. You can get us on Twitter at tankedup_casts. I'm at Nova_47. Aadil is
at the Omniarch.
Excellent. That's us for another week. Take it easy.
Bye.